Hey there, Assalamualaikum everybody. Welcome back for another amazing video. Today we're going to be talking about halal mortgages. I know, I love halal mortgages. I've been talking about them since like the beginning of this channel. I think one of my first videos about it. But one really important part of it, a lot of you guys might be thinking about halal mortgages, but you guys won't know like what's like the approval system, what's like the system of getting it and all that stuff. So in this video, it'll be quick, but I'll kind of break down your journey to getting a halal mortgage. Without any further ado, let's get this video started. First thing first, halal mortgages. How do they work? There's usually three formats of them: mudaraba, murabaha, and musharaka is the same thing, and then there's ijara. So which is private equity-based system. There's a pre-calculated profit rate, and then there's like an ijara, which is like a rent-to-own type of system. I like the first two. Personally, I always like to promote the equity system because it's a vividly respected, like a business transaction, and it's easier for people to understand. The profit rate system, not a lot of people understand. All right, so now let's just say you want this equity sharing system. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch this video right here. It's halal mortgages, or you can go on my YouTube channel and just search up halal mortgages, and you'll see like a few videos that I've talked about. So let's just say you choose the equity system, and then you're like, okay, now what do I do? First thing first, you have to understand which company you're going to be working with. You reach out to all the companies, you study them, and you see which one works the best for you in the sense of the structure of the company. Not necessarily the rate you're getting, but necessarily how is the company structuring these loans or these businesses or these transactions, because it's very important that you don't end up promoting haram from a different format. Okay. Personally, I've talked about Manzil, and again, you can check out my videos. I've talked about them in the past, and you can contact them and try to find out what you think about them yourself. Then what you do is you pretty much get on a call with them, and then they're gonna ask you for a few things. One is your credit score. Now you might be like, oh well, it's not a conventional loan. Why do you need my credit score? Well, the credit score kind of tells people, are you gonna pay back their money? Or are you gonna pay into this money? So you might be thinking, it's not a conventional loan, it's a halal loan. Why do I need a credit score? Well, the reality is your credit score kind of tells people how honest you are with money. So honestly, personally, if I was starting a business with some random person who I didn't know a lot about, I'd also ask for a credit score, because it tells me, do you pay your credit, like wherever you take your credit from, like credit card bills, your mortgages if you have it, whatever system you have, because it tells me how honest you are with money. A man who is not honest with money is not an honest man. He's not a dignified man. You can't be respected if you're not honest with money, because money is poison. And if you are not gonna be honest with something like that, you can potentially not be honest with a lot of things. So credit scores are important. They check your credit scores to see if you're gonna
Okay.
how well you're able to pay your money back and stuff like that. Second is your income. So I'll kind of make it easy for people to understand. Whatever your income is, times that by 4, take out any of your debts out of there, and that's potentially what you will qualify for. Giving you an example, if you make $50,000 a year, that's about $200,000 that you qualify for, and then you can take, if you have a student debt of about, let's say, $30,000 left, you only qualify for $170,000. Or if your car loan on top of that for $20,000, you only qualify for $150,000. So hopefully we don't have any loans on us. So your income just times by 4. Keep things easy. This can be altered a little bit depending on which organization, but usually that's what I've heard. It's just always times 4. Then how much is your down payment? Usually for halal mortgages, almost all of them that I know from North American perspective demand at least a 20% down payment. Now I know you'll be like, well, what about the 5% that Canada has given, like first buyers ease? Yeah, that exists if you go for a conventional loan, but not for Islamic loans, because there's a structure being put in from I think from the ulama, and also just from the risk management perspective of 20%. Now, how I look at this is, if you can't do the 20% right away, honestly, I would look into ways that you can borrow from your family, and if you have enough income, then you should be able to be like, guys, I make enough income, I'll pay back to you guys within half a year or 2 months or 3 months or something like that. Or B, just honestly talk to the company that you're taking the halal mortgage from and just be like, get me a pre-approval for a few months down the line, and then I will just spend that time putting together the down payment, and then inshallah, when the right time comes, when I'm ready for the shift and all that stuff, I will come back to you guys, and then we can talk about exact numbers and amounts. Because what's important is number 4 is the property that you're purchasing. It is very important that the property you're purchasing is a property that is, well, the infrastructure is decent, it's not breaking down, it's renovated, it's not like a destroyed property. Unless if you're going for like a renovation based loan and equity system, then that's a whole different conversation. But if you just go for residential living, you have to make sure that the property you're going for, that it's approval worthy, so you get your inspections done and all that things done. One minor point to the location is that there's some Islamic finance solutions that do not function all across of the country, due to the provincial legislation, or your state legislation, or your area legislation. They're not allowed to function outside of them because it's a financial company. They have to be regulated, and the regulations very vivid on which areas you can function in. So might be also, you might want to check out which area you're in, and does that company work within that area. And then lastly, you have to look at the percentage and come to a decision in regards to which type of halal mortgage you're going to. And two, you have to negotiate and come to an agreement with the company. Unless they have a fixed way of doing it, they shouldn't really have like a very exact way of doing it. If there's some negotiation, some things that you want to get adjusted into the contract, you should bring it up. For example, when COVID hit, a lot of guys who had halal mortgages couldn't pay their mortgage for about a few months. So these halal mortgages companies, and I know from the owners, they told me they pushed the entire mortgages a few months forward. So you didn't pay for a few months. And so have these discussions advance, and also talk about being an open contract and how does that work. Is it that because it's an open contract and it's a business, is it that when I try to buy out the entire property, am I buying it out at the current rate, or am I buying it out at the that I'm selling it from? Because if somebody owns 50% of the property, they deserve to make 50% of the profits, correct?
Nice.
So discuss all these things, and inshallah it will work out for you guys. Hope you guys like this video. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them, or reach out to me on my social media. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, take care of yourself. Salam alaikum.